Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of SNL, Saturday Night Library, also trivia. This series was created by Carrie and Amber at the Pal Branch, and I'm your host Mandy, also from the Pal Branch. Here are the rules. Today there are 3 rounds of trivia. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you want. Feel free to pause this video at any time. There is no time limit. Don't cheat. And you are a genius if you win because it's the internet and we can't give prizes. Today's theme is 80s. Round 1 will be 80s toys, round 2 is 80s movies, and round 3 is 80s cartoons. Alright, let's get ready. Round 1, 80s toys. So I'm going to show a picture of an 80s toy and you just have to name the toy. Here we go. Question 1. Question 2. Question 3. I never mastered this one. If you're not good at it, the purple part just hits your other ankle, like, forever. Question 4. This is terrifying. I never had this toy. I have never seen this toy before this trivia this week. It is terrifying. Question 5. I'll give you a hint. There are about 17 dogs in this thing that could be pound puppies, but only one of these is pound puppies. Hint, this is not a pound puppy. Question 6. Question 7. Is it a pound puppy? Is it not a pound puppy? Question 8. Totally had one of these. Question 9. Sorry, I'm recording at home. If you guys are hearing a bird in the background, there's a bird losing it in my front yard right now. Sorry, guys. Question 10. I don't think I heard of this toy before this trivia either. Kind of like Nightmare Fuel. It's close. Question 11. I remember these. I don't think I ever had one, but my sister might have. She had like Garbage Pail Kids and stuff too, which I did not have. So maybe she had one of these. I don't know. Question 12. Absolutely had one of these. The Delaware branch has one of these up in the attic, and every now and then we bring it out just for programs or something. But yeah, totally had one of these. They're amazing. Question 13. I kept thinking as I was doing this, like, how much are all these toys worth on, like, is Etsy just full of all this stuff? Like, all the 80s kids like me that are like, oh, I had one of those. Question 14. If you can also name the horror movie that is vaguely based on this toy, an extra point. I found one of these in an antique store once and I picked it up and I was like, oh, I always wanted one of these and never got one. And my sister was like, that is possessed, put it down. I think the horror movie is more famous than the original toy at this point. Question 15. Question 16. Definitely never had one of these. Kind of terrified. Is that the missing link? as a toy? What is that? So if you had one of these, you were like, no, don't talk about it that way. Sorry, I never had one. I don't know what this is. Question 17. Oh, that's cute. Question 18. Question 19. So many hours wasted trying to beat this thing. This is like if you were grounded from Nintendo, this was all you got. This is all you got. This one too, there isn't like necessarily a name brand associated with this, so just, you know, say what it is. And 20. Okay, round 2 is 80s movies. I'm going to show you a still from an 80s movie, and you have to try to guess what the movie is. I will tell you, the more iconic the movie, the more elaborate I tried to hide it. So if it's only a little tiny picture, that might be a hint. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. I want to give a clue for this, but I feel like it's too obvious, so I'm not gonna. What? Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Of the 80s movies, this might be my favorite of the, at least of the, like, I don't want to give too much away. Yeah, if you have a list of like favorite, like the most famous teen 80s movies, this is probably my favorite of those. I don't know. It's good. Number 8. I'll give you a clue. This is a sports movie. I don't know, you probably don't need that clue, but it is a sports movie. Question 9. I love this movie and did not remember this creature. I will give you a clue. It's not anything by Jim Henson, to my knowledge. Yeah, that's the clue. That's what I'm giving you. I don't think this creature was made by Jim Henson. That's all I'm doing. Question 10. Question 11. This is like one of my favorite movies. It has definitely been mentioned on trivia before. Oh. Question 12. I was trying to be all like tricky on this one. Question 13. Question 14. My husband really loves this movie. Maybe it's a little lesser known than some of the other ones. I'll give you a clue. It is not Karate Kid. Question 15. Question 16. I adore this movie. I've watched documentaries about this movie. The cushions, the pillows on my couch are this print. I have a pair of mittens in this print. Shout out to Megan for making me those. Question 17. Question 18. You guys are going to be mad at yourselves if you miss this one. That's all I'm going to say. I'm tempted to give a clue, but I'm not going to. Question 19. The clue for this is if you can read that bag, you know what this movie is. Probably. Also, just a stellar snack food. Woo! And question 20. Like I said, the more famous the movie, probably the less I showed of the picture. All right, round 3, 80s cartoons. I'm going to show a still from an 80s cartoon, and you just have to guess which cartoon. Some of these are a little easy, some are a little harder. Also, from the toy category, a lot of toys were made based on 80s cartoons, so don't overthink this. If you already saw one of these characters and you had named it in the toy category, it's probably correct. Question 1. A lot of these have been remade as well, so if it doesn't look quite like how you're picturing it, especially if you're younger than I am and you might have just seen the remake. Question 2. If I get this song in my head, I will be furious forever because it never ever leaves. I'm literally trying not to think about it right now because it's never going to leave my head. If you can sing this theme song out loud, don't do it because it is the worst earworm in the history of humans. No points awarded. I'm gonna skip this slide before it gets in my head. We gotta go. Question 3. I have never heard of or seen this cartoon. Ooh, there's a clue in the background, though. Question 4. I think this has been on another trivia maybe a couple months ago. Question 5. Now, this song will get in your head too. Not as bad, though. Guy on the far right, in the comments, is he Australian? Or like, not really. Is somebody doing an Australian accent for the character on the far right? Also, can you name that character? Because I'm trying to remember from when I was actually like a kid. I feel like that dude's Australian, though. Question 6. This series became one of my favorite parody YouTube internet videos ever, and we'll talk about that in the answers. Because I'm not sure I've ever seen the real show. Honestly, I've only seen like the YouTube knockoff parody one. Number 7. This one has really, some of this stuff has gone down, especially for anybody younger than me, as just infamy on the internet, and this is another one. We'll get there. Question 8. I don't think I've ever seen this series either. I mean, Clue with his monogrammed shirt, if you could figure that one out. Question 9. This one was definitely remade. Kind of recent movie. Oh, I almost gave away the name of this series. Is the front middle character in the red hat, who I almost named, trying to do is it the love symbol, but he's only got 3 fingers? What is going on there? Is he doing the rock? I guess he's got his thumb out, so it's not the rock. I think he's doing the symbol for love, but he's only got 3 fingers. Did you guys notice, by the way, in The Simpsons, which is not in here, by the way, because it's too obvious, but in The Simpsons, every character has 3 fingers except God, who has 4. It's like a nice little, one of my favorite episodes, God shows up and talks to Homer, and he's got 4 fingers. Question 10. Ooh, this is a bad earworm, too. I'm going to have to think of something else here for a minute. I think, and say this in the comment, I think the main character of this show was voiced by the actor who played Maxwell Smart on Get Smart. Obviously, this show is like a cartoon ripoff of that 60s, 70s show. So in the comments, if you know, I think it was voiced by that same actor. I forget that dude's name, but I think it's that voice actor. All right, I'm skipping before I get that in my head. 11, this is an easy one. Don't overthink it. Question 12. The animation on this is weird. Everybody's got trendy outfits, but it's all just made out of hair. I'm uncomfortable. Question 13. Definitely watched this as a kid. Question 14. Question 15. This is another one of those, and the one before this too, actually, that if you got the toy name for this right, I actually didn't even know this was a cartoon too. I had the toy, but I didn't know about the cartoon. So this one and the last one, if you got it right on the toys, don't overthink it because it's the same thing. Question 16. This has shown up on another trivia too, I think. Question 17. I had never heard of this before just now. I wonder if this is an international cartoon, maybe? I don't know. This also has had a remake too. That bird is really losing it. I hope you guys, I hope in the narration you're like, what bird? Because what I'm hearing is caw like every 3 seconds. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. This bird is losing it outside of my house right now. Question 18. Man, what a weird show this was. It was so weird. Question 19. Yeah, I definitely watched this show for sure. And question 20. All right, let's do some 80s style answers. Here we go. Round 1, 80s toys. Number 1 was a wuzzle. I don't think I ever had one of these, but that's what it was. Number 2 was a popple. I had middle left popple, and I named her Snowball. I think I had 2, actually, but the one I liked was Snowball. Question 3, is the Skip It. Ruiner of ankles everywhere unless you had coordination, which I did not. Number 4 is Pillow People. I don't like the Pillow People. I don't know if this is your favorite toy in the 80s. Put it in the comments. I am terrified and scarred. Number 5 is a Fluffy Dog. I never had one. Kenner was a giant of 80s toys, though. They got the original Star Wars contract to do the Star Wars figurines and like toys. So they were huge in the 80s. This is super cute. I never had one, but they're adorable. 6 is Polly Pocket. This is obviously the newer version. Much bigger. I don't know if that'll fit in a pocket. 7 is Puppy Surprise. I don't think I had one of these either, but I knew of them. Again, they're apparently still making a lot of these toys. 8 is a Glowworm. Oh, this is the remake, but they're still adorable. What a smart toy. Like, oh, your kids are afraid of the dark. Like, here's a little thing that they can squeeze. It's genius. Number 9 was Mall Madness, which is kind of a game, too. 10 was Casey the Talking Tape Player, or the Talking Robot. If you said robot, that's fine. I don't even know anybody that had one of these. I knew people that had Teddy Ruxpin, which was a pretty awesome toy, but this is maybe a little bit before my time. 11 is Mad Balls. I guess some of them had goo in them and stuff too. It's crazy. 12 is Light Bright, obviously. So classic. I think this is still being made too, and good for them because it's a great toy. I love it. 13 is My Pet Monster. I think my sister maybe had one of these. They're pretty cool. 14 is My Buddy and Me. And then they had the kid sister one too. The horror movie that is based off of My Buddy is obviously Chucky. So if you named Chucky as well, 2 points. If you just had either one of those, a point each. 15 is Pound Puppies. And this is my pound puppy, Boromir. He was actually from the Union County Humane Society, which is not a pound, but he's still my puppy. So. 16 is Monchi Chi Chi. Please in the comments tell me how to pronounce this. I'm still terrified of these. I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of it until, like, this trivia. Monchi-ichi. Monchi, yeah. Monchi-chi-chi-chi. 17 is Poochie, which is also the name of a Simpsons character, much lesser known Simpsons character. Shout out to Andy Bartlett if you know this guy, like, well, you do. 18 is called a Watchamal. I guess it was like a pet that was also like a wristwatch. Seems, what if you just, what if you had like an important meeting and you just rolled up with one of these on, like, yeah, it's, you know, it's my watch. And I think it probably wouldn't go over well. 19, if you said like, water ring game, it's fine. I guess Waterfalls was the original, like the name for it, but I think I said water ring game, and that's fine. And 20 is Merlin. I don't think I had one of these either, but yeah. All right, round 2, 80s movies. Number 1 was Back to the Future. I tried to get a little bit of the DeLorean wheel, which was the clue. 2 is Batman 1989. If you just said Batman, that's fine. I don't think Joker was in any of the sequels. I may have to look that up. I will accept Batman, though. That's fine. 3 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Obviously, they're redoing that this year, so that's a thing. 4 is Stand By Me, written by Stephen King. 5 is original Top Gun. That's obviously, like, being kind of sequelized still, too. 6 is Beetlejuice. I'm not going to say it 2 more times. 7 is The Breakfast Club, obviously. Super classic. 8 is Major League. My husband loves this movie, so sorry, it's a little lesser known, but I was like, he loves it. 9, this is actually a creature from Princess Bride, and I do not remember this. It was in the swamp somewhere, but movie, definitely Princess Bride. 10 is 16 Candles. I believe that 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink are the same movie. So if you said Pretty in Pink, no points. I'm with you, though. 11 is Indiana Jones. Technically, it is the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I guess if you said Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, 2 points. 12 is Say Anything. That's a Peter Gabriel. That's a, like, quite the 80s moment. 13, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. 14 is Over the Top, a movie starring Sly Stallone as an 18-wheeler driver who's also really good at arm wrestling. I don't know if anybody else has seen this movie. Unfortunately, I've seen this movie. My husband loves it. I can't recommend it really, but it's over the top. 15 is Clue, starring Tim Curry, who's my favorite, and Madeline Kahn, who's amazing. Clue has come up in other trivias. I love Clue. 16 is The Shining, obviously. So good. Oh, it's just the best movie. I love it so much. Not recommended for any type of child, but it's a good movie. 17 is Ferris Bueller. I thought this might be a trick question because Charlie Sheen's been in all kinds of other stuff, but he's only in one scene in Ferris. 18 is Jedi. It's Return of the Jedi. I kind of thought this might be a trick question. You would think it was Back to the Future, but nope. It's the Emperor. It's Jedi. 19 is E.T., and those are Reese Pieces. Ugh, I would eat a Reese Piece right now. I love them. They're so good. And 20, Dirty Dancing. Iconic scene. Yeah, try to be tricky. All right, 80s cartoons, round 3. Number 1 is Jem and the Holograms. If you just said Jem, that's fine. 2 is the Gummy Bears. If you said Adventures of the Gummy Bears, that's fine too. 3 is Banana Man. I have literally never heard of this cartoon. So, yeah, I don't know. Looks a little bit like The Tick, but with bananas. 4 is Duckula. If you said Darkwing Duck, I kind of thought that for a second too, but no points. Duckula. 5 is Chippendale Rescue Rangers. All right, 6 is G.I. Joe. But there's a YouTube series, again, not recommended for kids, this is definitely for adults, that just takes the More You Know clip at the end of the old G.I. Joe cartoons and redubs it with just weird stuff. So this one, the guy's like, hey kids, I'm a computer, stop all the downloading. I don't know why, I found these in college and they crack me up. So if you are an adult type person, especially if you've seen G.I. Joe, look up the G.I. Joe on YouTube, it's ridiculous. 7 is He-Man. I only saw like one episode of this cartoon, but I've seen the Hey Ya video like 5,000 times. My husband hates it. Every time I play it, he's like, stop. 8 is Danger Mouse? I don't know this series, I don't think. 9 is The Smurfs, obviously. 10 is Inspector Gadget. 11 is The Jetsons. It's like classic, iconic. 12 is Heathcliff, which I'm pretty sure is a ripoff of Garfield. I don't know. Maybe Heathcliff came first. I don't know, but that seems like Garfield was so huge in the 80s. It seems like a ripoff. 13, Rainbow Bright. Definitely watch that show. 14 is The Wuzzles, just like the toys. 15 is Popples. The remake is terrifying. I had not seen this until I looked up stuff for this. No, 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 no. 16, David the Gnome. This looks like a remake too, but it looks good. It looks fine. 18, Maya the Bee. I don't know. It looks like if you read the small print on this, it's like based on like maybe a German series. So yeah, not familiar, but if you watched it, put it in the comments. I don't know. 18, Snorks, obviously, aka Underwater Smurfs. 19 is Thundercats Ho! And 20, Pound Puppies. I didn't put my dog on here again, but he's around here somewhere. So, how did you do? 0 to 20, you were born in like 2004. If you got 20 to 40, you were born in 1986, which means by the time you remembered much, it was 1990. And if you got over 40, you were born in 1978, which is the ideal age to be like a kid, teens in the 80s. Thanks for playing, everybody. Next week, if you join us, we're going to do authors and books, which sounds boring, but it's going to be very exciting. It's also very on brand for the library to do things with books. So we'll see you next week. Bye!